Hello there and welcome back to the Zero Credentials F1 podcast. You've got Adam here and Nelly. We're going to break down what happened at the Japanese Grand Prix, talk about some contentious issues, some fake overtakes, some good bits as well.
No bits. No bits.
Yeah, plenty to say today. I'm a little bit concerned, mate, if I'm honest. I'm a little bit concerned about where things are going. Is the
First two
4-week break going to be good for us? Is that going to help?
Oh, I hope so. It was the first two races sort of spoiled us. Everything was up in the air, and this last one, I think that the team started to figure out how to neutralise one another's overtakes, and when they didn't, it was massive fakery.
Yeah, the reason I got concerned, right, is because normally you either love a race or you've got something to be absolutely outraged about. 2021, we talk about it all the time. Max fans obviously loved it. Us as Lewis fans were tearing our hair out, absolutely fuming, but there was passion there. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of passion. For the first time in many, many years, it's not the first time it's happened to me in Formula One, but for the first time in many years, just a hint of indifference started to creep
ground.
in. Yeah, and on a serious note, like that, F1 should be concerned about that. There's loads. I don't know if you've seen much online. There's so many fans absolutely fuming of how shit it is, and I'm not quite in that camp yet. There is some good stuff, but they should be very nervous.
The signs are starting to show that we could have a troublesome season this year now. It's the novelty's starting to wear off. And I know what you mean, because when you start clock watching, thinking, oh God, we're only on lap 37 of 56, you're thinking, whoa, I hope there's a safety car, I hope something else kicks off, because you're just expecting it to finish as you're seeing it right there.
Yeah, it wasn't even, I don't even think it was necessarily a boring race for me. It was just some of the overtakes, the battery related overtakes. You know, what was going on set up to do? So yeah, some of the battery related overtakes, I'm not enjoying them, not one bit. And there was one specific one that kind of I thought was a proper fake overtake, was towards the end with where George had obviously come through the field. He'd caught up with Leclerc, or he'd been behind him for a while, and eventually worked his way past. And then within a second, Leclerc had got back again because
used all his juice.
Yeah, and there was another one with this is worse. I don't know if you heard this, but Lando overtook Lewis, and then Lewis got Lando back.
Yeah,
and afterwards, Lando was like, "I didn't want to overtake Lewis then," but the car and the battery decided that it wanted to.
Yeah,
and I thought, when I heard that, I was like, what? Like, how is that? Is not the drivers in control of these machines driving to the absolute best of their ability. It's like, is there AI in these fucking cars?
Well, if you become a passenger, I mean, a couple of times, clips of George, where it clipped overly aggressively and then wouldn't seem to recover until the next corner, and he lost so much pace in that race. Because the battery system had gremlins in it and it was not keeping him happy. The very concerning thing for me was, if you're a passenger in the car, that's garbage. Lando shouldn't be in a position where, the car decided to do it.
I think the regulations actually say that you've got to be in it's the driver that has to be in control.
Yeah.
Like the kind of automation things. Because
that's like a mapping thing, isn't it? It's just self-clicking in, and it's not even
like the cars are learning the track as they go along. They seem to be doing.
That's mental. But this race, I enjoyed it. There was some action that was. I enjoyed it strong. It was okay. There was some action. There was enough to entertain me for enough of the race. I was getting really worried towards the end that actually, with George hunting down Charles, there came a point where you think, and Lando and Lewis at the same time, there was a point where it was worth your while staying behind after that last tight corner after 130R, because don't use your power. You could use your power to overtake then, and then whoever you've just overtaken can't boost themselves out of that because there isn't enough distance on the run up to the line. So you wanted to be behind coming to that 130R for that overtake, which seemed nonsense. And you did not, even if you'd saved some to counteract it, you couldn't deploy it in time on the run up to the actual start finish line. And that could have been, you don't want racing where people hang back so they get you on a technicality.
No. There's no way we want F1 to be in a position where it's a better idea to not overtake.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's happened before. There is precedent for that before, though, because it happened before. I think it was in Jeddah in 2021 with Lewis and Max, where they were like trying to stay behind as they crossed the DRS line, so they could get ahead at the right point.
Yeah,
and Max ended up brake testing Lewis at one point, and that caused a ruckus.
Yeah,
and then something similar happened. I think it was between Charles and Max a year or two later. They had a similar thing. It was less of a. I guess it was less of a big story back then because it was a one-off. But like it's happening multiple times per race now, isn't it?
Well, it's just anything that encourages bad or negative behaviour when you're a race driver is just I want it out of the sport. That's not what you want to see. Get them on a Mario Kart technicality. It's absolute nonsense. And when it's boxing, it's not chess. You want maximum power, maximum effort, maximum ability. You don't want them to think too much about it. You want them to use their natural talent and skill and throw it around. You
want 22 heroes going to battle on the track, don't you? You don't want fucking nerds making decisions about when to deploy some electricity.
when you say it out loud, though, it's fucking terrifying, isn't it? It's just, oh God.
And you've got drivers saying to the engineers, all due respect to the engineers, that tell me when to deploy. It's like that's not the point. The engineers
don't know. They have to be Sparkies now.
Yeah, they build this machine and then they give it to the driver. And the driver does their thing. That's been the beauty of F1 for so many years, the sort of technical stuff. And then you give it to the driver and he does his thing. But now you've got like, you might as well put like a robot in the driving seat.
It's getting,
which McLaren have done, to be fair.
Yeah. The only thing, well, this is it. But the interesting thing is, whatever happened, it's working for McLaren now, because that was a surprise of the weekend that McLaren seemed to recover some pace and actually looked decent value for it. Obviously, Oscar more than Lando.
Yeah, they've refreshed his firmware after the crash.
But to be fair, he hasn't. Yeah, he's got very few hours on his automaton clock because it was his first race of the season. That was impressive because it actually makes it potentially a 3-team race for the season. And not just Ferrari and McLaren having it all their own way, although saying that, as soon as Kimi, we spoke about it last week after his first win, but how it can lift you or relax you when the pressure's off and you can start just doing your own thing. He looked mighty. He most
definitely did. I want to come back to Kimi, but one person who wasn't cool about too much over the weekend was Max Verstappen. And in typical sort of Max Verstappen style of doing things, he's let everybody know what he thinks about this current crop of cars, his feeling about it. And he's now pretty much threatening to leave the sport.
Blackmailing, maybe?
Yeah, give me what I want or I'm getting out of here. To be fair, I actually don't disagree with him. Because he's a 4-time world champion, he's got a young family, and if he's not, I think F1 is the sort of sport where if you're not enjoying doing it, it's a daft thing to do.
Yeah, it's not the pinnacle, is it? Because as you were saying earlier, you want 22 heroes on the grid. I would feel a hero if I got in a Formula 1 car and completed a lap. Never mind a race, never mind competing against anyone else during that race. So that's how it has to be. But if he's not having the fun that he needs to have, because it should be fun. I mean, it's the lifestyle that anyone dreams of, but it should be fun. It should be the pinnacle of motorsport. You shouldn't be going off saying, "Oh, I'll do my hypercar championship next weekend, and that'll be more fun than my day job."
Yeah,
that should never be happening.
No,
that shouldn't.
not for anyone. The fans or the drivers.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll don't worry about it this week. This is where I get paid. But next week I'll have a great crack in a 24-hour in a hypercar. And you're like,
is that honestly what they've done though? Do you think?
Yeah.
Have they really made it less fun than some other smaller formulas? Or
I think it's
races?
easy to arrive at that conclusion, but it's easy to arrive at that because Max is barely getting into. Well, he didn't get into Q3 this time and wasn't very comfortable in Q2, to be honest with you. And he was, you get to the point where if he's knocking out pole positions and high up the grid, I kind of think that he wouldn't have so much of a problem with it.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. And I was questioning myself as well, actually, did some of my annoyance come from the fact that Lewis was going backwards in this race? And I think it did, but it was because his car didn't have enough power. It was very obvious to see because he got up into third, and on the straights, Leclerc was just getting up behind him really easily. And is that about deployment? Is that about the cars learning in a different point of the race? So the electronics have taken over and made the cars quite different. I don't actually know, because
there were too many variables. That's the thing. There's too many complicating factors in this. And I don't know what Charlie Leclerc was doing this weekend, but at points he was a good half second in quali. Certainly, he had a good half second, quarter of a second over Lewis.
Yeah. So let's compare that to last week when it was the roles were reversed.
The other way around.
Has suddenly Lewis got better than Leclerc in China, that much better, and then those roles have suddenly reversed? Or do you think it's more likely that it's the car that's gone different?
Yeah. Somebody tweaked a little bit of software that in a structure that Charles now likes, and then it's luck of the draw on the weekend. Because that's it. There's too many variables. There's too many things that.
It's too much of a big swing as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't want. Yeah. It removes the drama. The drama and the human story, what makes it exciting and interesting, happens when, say, Charles makes a little incremental improvement, and then Lewis catches him up again, and then Charles moves.
Exactly.
So then, it's this kind of. It happens a bit like that in 2021. Max got way ahead, and Lewis caught him up, and that was the narrative. But when
that's
these
why
machines,
it's a pleasing story.
Yeah, exactly. But all of last year, for example, it was a complete guess as to which car was going to be best at which track.
Yeah.
And it made the narrative difficult, and that's starting to happen in this last race. I think the track in Japan and Suzuka really exposed the battery issue as well. And then it's resulted in an extremely dangerous incident, hasn't it? Which we've joked about the reason we love this sport is for the speed and danger. But there's occasionally something that's so dangerous that it's just one of those stomach-wrenching.
Maybe wins. Yeah, maybe wins.
Yeah.
Just the closing speed on that, it was just... So we'll explain ourselves. It was Oliver Bearman. Who wasn't having a great weekend anyway. I was very surprised about that in terms of quality and everything else. But was it Lindblad he was coming in on?
No,
it was Colapinto in the Alpine. Yes, that's right. And Colapinto started clipping massively, super clipping. Oh God, no! I hate that term. At the same time that Ollie Bearman had deployed some of his energy, and they just started closing the distance at an absolutely terrifying pace. So much so that Colapinto didn't. I thought he could have got out of the way a little bit better, but never mind.
But he doesn't have to, though.
Like anyway.
He doesn't have to get out of the way. This is what people were having a go at. I saw a bit online of people saying Colapinto tried to kill him. It's no, he didn't. It's not a practice session. It's not qualifying. It's the middle of a race. He doesn't have to get out of the way.
He doesn't have to look in his mirrors.
He's
he's got the race in line.
And he's entitled to defend. But it was which he kind of started drifting towards the middle of the track. But he's entitled to do that. They weren't coming up to the corner turns left a little bit. I mean, they're kind of turning right at that point, but then it goes left. And he's entitled to let his car drift out. It's normal racing from Colapinto's.
That's the racing line, yeah.
But in those tiny little mirrors that they've got on the car, they can't judge the closing speed.
Is he really coming at me that fast? He's not like...
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's not going to turn his head round and... Yeah, are we going to do this?
It is 100% the fault of the FIA and these regulations that crash occurred, and he hit the barrier with a 50G impact.
Yeah. So Ollie Bearman, to finish that line, he had to take a little bit to the grass, didn't he? To avoid Colapinto, and obviously
smash through the
speed
marker
difference.
boards.
Yeah, yeah. I love the way they're styrofoam. I don't know why that amuses me so much. I suppose it's for safety. And then it ended up at speed into the barriers. But equally concerning as well is that I forgot how long it's been since I've seen a Formula One driver exit the car and look shaken and in pain.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with
anything other than a hand, like there's some.
Yeah.
Seeing the driver limp away. Yeah, that was a strange sight, wasn't it?
Yeah, because you used to get the front suspension piercing the cockpit, didn't you? And stabbing legs and all sorts of stuff way back when. But no, that was a massive wake up call. A massive wake up call for the FIA. But you know, what can they do? So they must have highly paid, highly technically skilled people designing these things. It's not like two lads in the back of a fag packet scribbling down what they think might be good cracks for the races.
You say that, but the drivers and the teams have been warning about this since they've known about the regulations, and they went ahead with it anyway. And is it? Are they so stupid that they're going to wait for someone to get seriously hurt? Because it isn't just the drivers, is it? There's the fans to think about at the end of behind the fences. There's people in the pit lane. There's the drivers themselves.
My fear with it, my fear with this is, in response to it, the FIA will do something. What can they do about it that won't make the situation worse?
I mean, I think they can...
Or throw out the rule book mid-season.
One of the things... I mean, I think they do have to throw the rule book out. One of the things I've seen is that they will be able to essentially allow the engine power to increase, so we get away from 50-50 and we go back to something more akin to last year, where the engine is creating more power than the electric motor. So, like... And I think they can do that... But I think they can do that by increasing compression ratios and shit like that. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but you can adjust the power differential between the two of them. I think one of the other things I wanted to talk about was qualifying was boring. And Charles Leclerc basically gave the reason why when he talked about qualifying. He said he said something like the magic's gone out of qualifying because they can't push full beans around a whole lap.
Yeah.
The cars are super clipping. They're having to decide to go a bit slower around a particular corner so they can go faster down the straight with deployment.
It's not the limit. It's so far from the limit. And that's what they build themselves up to over the
that's
3
where
sessions, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's where the driving skill comes in. Not going slowly round a corner so you can you can kind of get your battery charged up so you can deploy on the straight, because obviously it's faster on the straight.
Yeah. So that shouldn't be. But I mean, they couldn't.
Because that could kill
the engine mods.
That could kill a track like Silverstone.
Yeah.
Where you've got loads of fast corners. You got all these, well, not just there, like Eau Rouge, certain places like that.
They've got to harvest somewhere where they're going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. You've got all these amazing corners that are just the highlight of the whole season. And then you just they're driving slowly round them.
Yeah. Lewis and Max in Cop's corner. No, after you. No, after you. Rather than tyre squealing. Yeah. Oh, no. A fast track like Silverstone, it will hurt because they will have to choose where to give it up. And it'll look pathetic, won't it?
But I think it did. I think it did this weekend. I found qualifying, because normally, I can't put my finger on why sometimes qualifying is super exciting. But I think it is the drivers right on the limit, pushing each other to do an even better lap. Whereas this week it just kind of, I don't know, it just didn't feel that exciting.
I know what you're saying, because I completely randomly, because it's not research or anything coming up, but I looked at Max's super lap, or what would have been a super lap in Jeddah the other year, where he'd thrown it in the wall on the final corner. But to that point, it was the most exquisite performance that I've ever seen. Yeah. He was in absolute control. He was cigarette paper widths away from the wall at incredible speeds. And I want him, okay, he stepped a fraction too far, but only a fraction. And the excitement just to take it up to that point, that would have been the best lap in Formula One history, as far as I'm concerned, had he completed it. And yeah, that will never happen again, will it? With these regulations, it can't happen again like that.
One of the things I was hearing is that the qualifying is one of the things they will be able to change. I've frozen again.
You've frozen.
Zero credentials, mate. Zero credentials.
This is we're deliberately doing this. This is bake. Blooper reel that we're producing for an end of year special.
You don't want the picture of me on the screen, though. Let's put you back up. There we go.
Definitely not Gremlins. Oh, yeah. Hopefully I'll freeze now. At least you've got something going on.
Am I coming back? I don't think I'm coming back, mate.
It's a little darker.
Right, let's, while I'm still here, we'll talk about...
You're worried about the internet falling off then? Go on.
Something, yeah. Let's have a look at the predictions that we have up to now. So the current score is I'm on 9, you are on 3, and White's is on 1 point.
You said I am on 3 as if that was an absolute and hasn't changed since last week. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's find out. These are the predictions here from before the race. Some White's put Lando on there for the first time, and that paid off because he did come in 5th.
Papaya pays.
And then he also got 3rd correct, which gives him 2 points.
Results, there was 2 papaya flashes in the top 5 this week.
There was, yeah.
Nobody saw that coming.
We got that right 1 week, and that was it. And then, so you and I did not score any points whatsoever.
I'm back to my usual form. I've peaked at 3.
So, with White's 2 points, you are now tied on 3. I'm still in the lead with 9. I've kept you in 2nd because you got there first, basically. Yeah. And also I couldn't be asked changing the graphic to shut
I'm
2 lots of 2.
2nd space on the podium. You can't have it. You can't have it.
I think it's right that you stay 2nd because you got there first. I think that's... standard rules. The 2nd and 3rd man on the moon are irrelevant, aren't they?
Well, who knows? Who knows who they are? Waste of time.
Right.
I'll end up the season as
back,
wow. Hello.
I didn't even know that was going to work.
You did it on purpose, mate. We're murking the viewers.
So our championship is alive and well.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's hotting up already.
I'm only going slow at the minute because I'm harvesting. And as soon as I press my electricity button, I'm coming for you.
Yeah. Well, this week, I've been super clipping. Yeah. So I'm still going fast. I'm still in the lead.
You are.
But it's... I've held off for a minute.
Not used my boost.
I'm fully charged for the next race. That's
it's a long way off, though. It's a long way off.
I'm just looking at my list of... let's talk about some good stuff. Because we've talked about some things that have frustrated us. What about the good stuff? I thought Kimi Antonelli, yet again, that guy, he's the real deal, mate, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. He's relaxed, shaking off the nerves of the first race win, and now he's showing it. Now he's absolutely showing it. Got a good car under him, no doubt, but you still have to do plenty with a good car. And it was after the restart as well. He caught George on the hop, didn't he? And the rest of them, they all fell asleep. George got sucked back into it. I know he had power deployment issues, but he got sucked back into it, and within a very short period of time, Kimi was 12, 13, 14 seconds up the road. Very relaxed about it, and I was pleased for him because he looks like a nice, honest lad. And there was a clip I saw over the weekend as well where he was whinging to Lewis Hamilton on the edge of a sofa. Oh God, Mercedes just keep up in my media days, and I'm like, I'm up to 41 now. I'm like, I have to stay for a couple of days and do Japanese whiskey or something like that for Mercedes. And he's just like, wow, yeah. But first world problem, sunshine. You've just won 2 Grand Prix in a row.
Yeah, exactly. We shouldn't
really well.
We shouldn't ignore the fact that he did get a bit lucky with the safety car.
He did.
With a well-timed, staying out essentially.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I love George as well, but he can whine like a
yeah, and on the opposite end of that scale, he did get very unlucky. But good Lord, like, it's funny because literally while he's driving out of the pit lane and he's put his foot down, the safety car came out. So he lost absolute maximum time he could have done. But God, yeah, I mean,
imagine
the whinging.
It must be, yeah. He doesn't wear it well, does he? He does not wear the whinging well.
And it's like I think the thing I was thinking about why it's so annoying, because other drivers whinge, and it's not, you kind of you get it. Do you know what I mean? I get why you're whinging and you're annoyed, and even anger is fine. But I figured out the reason why it's annoying with George is it's a sense of privilege.
Yeah.
It's like he's so privileged in his entire life that something can't go wrong. And if it's gone wrong, you can't let this happen to me. This is
somebody fix this immediately.
Yeah,
immediately.
Fix this for me right now, because this sort of thing is not allowed to happen to me.
This feels jolly unfair. No. But it is. It's just like, pull me, and you just think, but they're never like that when anyone who benefited from that, namely Kimi and the Ferraris did at the time, didn't they? The flip side of that is they'd be laughing their back off in the helmet, going, "Oh, I can't believe my luck! This is fucking brilliant! Yeah. We're gonna be given a podium position off the back of this." And George has been on the other end of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Frustrating at the time.
It'll come around. What goes around comes around.
It balances out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It balances out over time.
Exactly.
And it favours the brave, and it was just unlucky, and that's all it was, just unlucky.
But Kimi was fast anyway. I think Kimi was the fastest man on the track, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He got pole position, and did he? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
No, he took it away.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, he took it.
Yeah. And he had another shocker of a start. If he got that start right, and he admitted he mucked it up with a clutch, I think, because there is still obviously a little bit of an experience there. If he'd got that right, he would have been off into the distance.
He's gone.
Like, he would have been gone. So George got lucky that Kimi fucked the start up, and then that luck flipped, and he got the safety car bonus.
Yeah, it flattered George. Yeah, exactly. So it probably worked out right.
But I mean,
the
lad's got an opportunity with this car, hasn't he? And he's just sort of proving that he's every bit as good as Mercedes thought he was, to be fair to them.
Well, listen, it's a bit of a replay from last year, because, I mean, I like George. I want George to win the entire season now. But Lando, we thought, it'd be all Lando. Then Oscar started to return punches last year and actually looked really, really disciplined, and to a point where he took the lead for a very long period of time in the second half of the season, lost it literally on the last weekend. But you can see the same happening. I want Kimi to get a couple of wins under his belt and maybe have a bit of racing with George. That might be fun. But ultimately, I want and I expect George to take this advantage much further into the season, and
the experience will pay off at some point, unless Antonelli is a generational talent. Do you know what I mean? He may well be, and I think you're right. That kind of into that battle between the two of them seems like it's going to be tastier than we thought it was going to be, and I'm looking forward to that going forward. I thought one of the good things this weekend, as much as we've complained or I've complained, is that the Ferrari battle was good again.
Yeah,
those two,
and clean.
Yeah, they're great drivers, both of them, and that felt like real racing as opposed to fake racing like some of the other overtakes were. But so maybe as the cars get closer over time, the FIA sort some shit out, remove this fake shit from the sport. It has no place in this sport. It's all. That's one of the. When I was annoyed after the race, or not, I wasn't annoyed, indifferent a bit, because there's so much fake fucking shit around anywhere these days.
In life, in the world,
Yeah, you don't want that finding its way and corrupting Formula One.
Yeah.
You just don't want it. It's always been fairly pure, hasn't it? Like, you put the pedal to the metal and drive as fast as you can. That's why sports always kind of maintained
it's always been a
popularity.
combination. The best team built the best car, and if you're lucky, you've got the best driver in it as well. And together, they that's what teams want. Teams want to dominate the sport, and not have any competition, and that's fine. But it's too fiddly. Don't mess with stuff too much. It gets.
Well, hopefully they'll listen. They'll listen to the fans, and they'll listen to the drivers, and they'll listen to the teams, whatever they're saying quietly behind the scenes. But
I just hope they don't overreact and overcompensate, because I think they'll have a propensity to go too far the other way and and completely ruin the season. And then there'll be this season in 2021 with an asterisk against it.
Yeah,
and then I don't want another asterisk.
And we're already losing. We're already losing a month from now, aren't we?
This is it.
It's 4 weeks, nearly 4 weeks, over 4 weeks away still.
Any notable mentions from you then? I've got one.
Yeah, go on then. Give me yours.
I really did enjoy, because I am the antithesis of a Max Verstappen fanboy. I don't hate him. I respect him, but I enjoy it when he's having a tough time. So for him to be caught behind Pierre Gasly,
Gasly,
for most of the race, that did tickle me. That did tickle me, and a bit as a consequence of that, Hadjar fair and square outqualified him. I think the second seat offset in that Red Bull, maybe that's the only good thing to come out of these new regs. I think Hadjar still struggled in the race, didn't he? But
yeah, you're right. I think I don't know. I just hope these cars get sorted out, because the other thing, they're too complicated. So you've got like and it's no surprise that the two big teams that have been around forever, that build their own engines, are the teams that are right up there at the front. McLaren have a Mercedes engine and have are off the back of winning the championship last year, and they seem to have starting to get an understanding of how it's working. But the cars are just too complicated. No one wants to see Max Verstappen down in 8th at this point, where he's at the absolute peak of what he's capable of. Yeah, there's just,
as the driver, just not the car. He's just not got the car.
I don't want to see, like, Williams finished 5th last year. They've obviously had a torrid time with the car. You don't want to see Carlos Sainz, one of the best drivers on the grid, down right near the bottom, unhappy.
Got a good minute and 5 seconds off the pace, and there was a safety car.
Alonso thought he was going to be getting podiums this year, not finishing the races and stuff. It's just, I mean, you think he did finish.
Although Sergio finished on at least he finished on the same lap as everybody else. But it's a sad state of affairs, really, isn't it? I think could they cancel it out then by let's say they keep the Lecky stuff because the engines are too dependent on it at the moment. heard they had an option. I can't believe I'm saying this, to pick up the electric yield. So instead of 200 units, they could get 350, and that means that
they can deploy for longer,
and then stop the circumstances where they're short of power and there's a coming together. It's gonna have to look really, really broad into what they can do. So, like I don't particularly like the Parc Fermé stuff after qualifying. If somebody's found a problem and they think they can enhance the vehicle between them and the race, let them do it. What's the massive downside? That strikes me as a rule that came about because somebody said he touched his car after we qualified.
Yeah, there probably is good rules that I'm not aware of with that, but I don't know what they can do. I mean, other than, like I said before, rip it out and put a V10 in, because I think, to be fair, they've done a great job with the aero package. I think that's they seem to be able to follow for quite a long time without tearing the tyres up. There has been some wheel-to-wheel racing,
but the Ferrari aero package in general, I mean, the cars
look great. They look nimble. They look a bit uncertain. It looks like it requires some driver's skill to get it up to full speed, but that's all being just ruined.
It's overly offset by the battery, because I'm absolutely certain that the Aston Martin in an aero package terms will be right up there.
Yeah.
It'll be top 3.
Yeah,
without question. But we can't tell because they've shut the bed on the engine and the battery deployment package. So there's some good work, some genius innovations in there that are being completely masked by a bullshit battery formula.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. We've got a long wait now until the next race. Because of the warmongers. But let's put the.
Hope it'll quench our thirst when it comes back, and it's a lot of time for the teams to do some sums in the background and hopefully bring some big packages back with them.
I'm going to be watching closely what the FIA do to try and sort this out. I think they've got some meetings coming up in the next week or so, haven't they? Let's
if you do anything that displeases us, FIA, we will call you out on this. We will call you out here. We will have your eyes out. So get it right.
I mean, I think indifference from the fans is the thing they need to be afraid of, not people yelling. It's people just
the markets and money men
quietly switching off and not spending their money on F1. That's what
the
they need to be
markets and
afraid
money
of.
men will absolutely shut that shit down if there's any risk of it touching the paper stack attached to Formula One, the multi-billion-pound industry. If they think people are turning off, they'll soon react. I guarantee you that.
I think you're right, though. My excitement, even though it's Miami, I think my excitement will be right back up there before that race. So we will continue being your weekend companions. And Nelly, tell people what they need to do.
Oh, right. I've got this. I know this one. They have to like and subscribe and tap the screen twice and ring a bell, and you'll get reminders of every time that our beautiful, smug, annoying faces come out with a new episode. So do lots of that. Like and subscribe.
If people hate our faces, what can they do?
Oh, they can do exactly the same, but comment on it as well. And tell us how
there's a podcast
grotesque that you think that we
they
are.
Can just listen.
There is.
You can drive along in your car listening to these husky northern voices
coming out with words of huge wisdom and sage influence. Yeah. This could all be yours. Why wouldn't you do that?
All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you again
Thank you.
reasonably soon. Cheers.
Bye.